Hey there, it's Morcor on the second channel, oh my god, it's Marcor on the second channel, Morcor, yeah. And before you click off the video, because the title and what I'm talking about, Genshin Impact's a really fun game, okay? I got into it this year, and yeah, it's been really fun. So, the reason why I'm talking about Genshin Impact at all is because the game recently got a new update, version 5.0, which introduces a new region, Natlan, and Natlan is the nation of Pyro, so it has, like, this whole, like, fiery theme and all, and it's really cool, but we'll get into it a bit more later. It also introduced a few new characters and all, new story stuff, a lot of quality of life changes, don't get me started on that, and a whole host of rewards, so you don't need to pay money on the game, which is nice. So yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts on the new update, because, I think it was the day before yesterday, as of when I'm recording this video, which is the Saturday of this week, I finished the story stuff, that the update introduced, the 2 Archon quests, and yeah, it was incredible. It's living up to the hype so far. So yeah, let's just get into it. First of all, just exploring Natlan as a whole is like genuinely the most fun I've had exploring the world of Genshin Impact. Just in general, like, to be fair, I haven't like been. What I've mostly been doing is I've been playing the game pretty much every day, just so I can like get the like do my resin and all. If for anybody who plays Genshin Impact would understand. But yeah, I've just been doing it every day for resin, and every now and then I would do like a story thing or just play for a bit longer. But usually it's just for the resin stuff, and the commissions and just the daily and weekly stuff that I have to do. But anyway, Natlan has kind of changed that. Just genuinely exploring Natlan is so much fun, partially because of the new mechanic of the Saurians, where you can literally just turn into a dragon and just like use funny special powers to like explore the world. It is genuinely so much fun. In terms of the quality of each dragon and how fun they are to like control and all, I'd say the water dragon, like, thing which you can turn into is probably the weakest for me, because all it does is just, like, swims faster. And there are, like, these cool, like, grind rail segments, where you're, like, floating around and going around the place and all. It's really fun. That's pretty much it. It's still really fun to use. It's just not nearly as fun as, the other two. Speaking of the other two, the Geo, dragon is definitely my second favourite of the ones we have so far, and this one lets you like burrow into the ground and like just like move around in the ground and all, and do like various like things in the ground. You like dig up stuff and all. It's great. But my favourite is definitely the Dendro Dragon type thing. Well, they're more like dinosaurs, I know, but still, they're classed as dragons, but they act more like dinosaurs. But the Dendro Dragon is definitely my favourite because it lets you latch onto things in the environment and like launch over to those places, and you get to, and it's like super fast and satisfying to use every time. And one of the new characters, which is going to be in the second half of this update, has that mechanic. It's so much fun. But yeah, that just exploring is made so much fun due to these Saurians. Like, I love it so much. So next, let's talk about let's talk about the new characters. So I haven't pulled for any of the new characters, and I don't plan on pulling because my plan is to get Riodsley when he releases, or when he reruns. I mean, because he'll be very good for my second team comp, and he's gonna be my main DPS in my second team comp, because right now my first team comp has Arlecchino, or Arlecchino, I mean. As my main DPS, and I also got Farina when she reran. But yeah, this is about Natlan. But yeah, the new characters. Kachina's really fun. It's far too much fun to just boing around the place, just boing on enemies and just kill them like that. It's so much fun. And And Molani, I love Molani, man. She's so much fun. Both as a character and her gameplay. Like just move, and she's like insanely powerful as well. Like Jesus Christ. Just like seeing the damage numbers on her like E just in the trial alone. Like Jesus Christ. If I wasn't going for Eodsley, I'd definitely pull for her. Yeah, Kinich isn't out yet because he's in the second half and he's the character with that like latching on mechanic that the Dendro Dragon has that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, Kinich looks pretty cool and its gameplay looks really fun to do, and I especially love his burst animation. Like, look at that thing, that looks incredible. But yeah, those are the characters. Those are the brand new playable characters at least. Because we don't seem to have anything else to talk about, let's talk about the story now. I wanted to save this for last because genuinely, like, the story is the stuff I'm most excited for with Genshin Impact. Like, I'll probably make a video on, like, ranking all the Archon quests or something, at some point, but the story of Genshin Impact, especially with, the regions of Sumeru and Fontaine, has gotten genuinely incredible. Like, a lot of people seem to dislike Inazuma's story, and that's totally fair, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but, like, you can't deny that Sumeru and Fontaine, they put in the work to make some truly fantastic stories there. Like, they're both self-contained and also, like, expand the world of Genshin Impact in a really fantastic way. Genuinely, this is spoilers for the Archon quest ranking, but Act 5 of Fontaine's story, that one always, even when thinking about it, gets me close to tears. It is genuinely one of the best story moments in anything I've ever experienced. And does Natlan hold up? Yes. Natlan's story hasn't been as viscerally emotional as Fontaine, because what I loved about Fontaine is that right out of the gate, you're just thrusted into the story with Act 1 being just a whole, like, court trial against Lyney. That was genuine, like, first playing through that was genuinely so viscerally intense for me. I was so interested in it. And Natlan's story doesn't seem to be going for, like, emotions, at least so far. Like, there has been good emotional moments, like with, that character who, I forgot their name, but it's an NPC, that's like on the verge of death. And they're related to, like, Mulan in some way. But they're pretty good. That was a pretty good moment. And also this stuff featuring, Marvika, who's the Pyro Archon, and her family from 500 years ago. That's really interesting as well. And they can totally expand that to be really emotional later on. But for now, this story is just so sick. It's just so fucking cool. Like, it throws you right into the gate with some genuinely fantastic, like, and intense, like, stadium fights. Like, so Archon Quest 1 is basically about Kachina, who basically has imposter syndrome. Yeah, Kachina, she has, it's about Kachina trying to get into, the team who will go and fight off the Abyss. And the Abyss is, like, this whole huge, like, organization, similar to the Fatui, but, like, with much more, like, mysterious, wacky stuff going on, like, otherworldly stuff. And Archon Quest 1 had some really cool moments, like the animated cutscenes in Natlan have so far just been so sick. The fight with Molani versus Kachina was so well animated. It was so intense. Oh man, it was like the best fight we've seen in the game up to that point. I say up to that point because there's one later. But yeah, just Archon Quest 1 was really fun, and then Archon Quest 2 was even better. Like, it set up the Abyss a lot more, and it's really starting to get us to understand the Abyss more, and that's really interesting. And then the fight against Marvika and Capitano. Oh my god, dude. The fight against Marvika and Capitano, who is the first of the Fatui Harbingers, Jesus Christ, that was genuinely the best fight in the entire game, and one of the best fights I've ever seen in anything. Oh my god, there's so much to love about it. Like, Capitano literally just rocks up out of nowhere with no warning, and he just starts yapping to Marwika. Marwika has this insanely dramatic, like, entrance, and he's just still yapping. He doesn't give a shit. And then they start fighting, and then, like, there's this point where you think it would end because there's a big puff of smoke, and then they start flying around like fucking anime characters. It's every single time I watch that, I'm like, holy shit, this is unreal. It was so fucking fun and exciting to watch. Oh my god, you need to watch it if you haven't. I've probably got like footage of it playing right now because it's so good. And that's not where the great stuff ends with this like part of the thing, because there's like really interesting stuff about like fighting off the abyss and trying to get Kachina's ancient name back. And then you eventually go to the I think it's like the night something place. So it's called something like, it's like Night Warden, I forget. But yeah, that stuff was really cool and interesting as well. And Kachina was under visceral trauma, which Jesus Christ, they traumatized a child. Overall, that was just a really good part of the game. And I'm so excited to see where the story will go next. And I believe that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this update. Obviously, I'll be playing the heck out of it until like 5.1 releases, where there'll be even more stuff, and I'll be even more excited. But yeah, this update has cooked. Oh, I forgot about the quality of life changes. There's so many, it's so good. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Natlon specifically, because Natlon is peak. And also just go play Genshin Impact, it's really fun. I did spend a bit of money on the Battle Pass, but you really don't need to spend the money on the Battle Pass. Like, just get the game, play it, it's really fun, you'll love it. Bye bye.